Blog Talk Radio.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Ladies Coop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Ladies Coop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Today, season 5 of the show. Starting off right now, we're starting off with the bang. Make sure you go tell all your family, friends, associates, haters, it doesn't matter. Tell them to tune in right now to blogtalkradio.com/the Big Scoop with Coop. They can catch me here live right now. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/the Big Scoop with Coop, where they can actually catch me live watching me. So make sure you tell everybody to do that. Also, YouTube, what's going on, people? I see you live watching me live stream also. So we're doing the thing right now. But guys, season 5, like I told you, it's gonna be starting off with the bang, and I'm gonna bring what I promised. Now, if you are a fan of Luke Cage, I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to go tell your family, your friends, tell everyone to tune in right now, because this is a show you do not want to miss. Not at all. Actually, I'm not going to give you 30 seconds. You better tune in while you can, guys. But to let you know about my guest today, best thing to say is, wow. He has appeared in multiple television shows, movies. He's doing a lot of things. He's a very, very successful actor. He plays Bailey, that's Misty's colleague, in Luke Cage. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Justin Swain. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Coop. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing really great, man. I settled in out here on the East Coast.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Same here. So how was your day so far?
Wonderful, man. It was pretty good. Hung out in the city a bit, drank some coffee, kind of get out of the rain, but just chilling, having a good day.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Now, Justin, on this show, we always do talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to get into your career, and much more. And also, we want to speak a little bit about Luke Cage and multiple things that you have going on with yourself also. But we always start from the beginning, Justin. When did you first realize that you wanted to become an actor?
I've been kind of doing it all my life. So I mean, I was a kid. I was 6 years old doing plays up in New Hampshire, and that's when I started doing it. And I never really stopped. It was funny when I was younger. People asked me, "What do you want to do for a living?" I was like 7 years old. I was like, "I want to be an actor. I'm going to be an actor." And then I would say, "But maybe if I can't do that, I'll be a veterinarian."
Oh wow!
I have no idea why I said that, but but that was what I wanted to do when I was a kid, and I always wanted to be an actor, so I never got to be a veterinarian.
I think you went in the right direction. I really do. There's nothing wrong with veterinary, not at all. But I mean, and ladies and gentlemen that's watching worldwide, if you've seen him in action, you'll see why he was better off where he's at now. So I can't front on that. Yes. Now,
and then, one of the things I did, I went to school at Emerson College and studied acting there, but then quickly moved to New York City. And then when I first got to New York, you kind of come into the city and it's overwhelming a bit. There's so many people and so much energy, and the energy kind of overwhelms you. And so what I did was I started doing a little bit of featured extra work on films, and I was on the set of a film called A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe was on set and some other people, and I met a guy who introduced me to someone who brought me to an acting class, and it was taught at Carnegie Hall by this like kind of old legend named Win Handman. And then when I went into Win Handman's class, I met a bunch of professional actors and amazing people in the city, and that's actually when things really took off. And I was like, yeah, this is amazing, and I really kind of grasped New York and met a lot of really awesome people and got an agent, and that's when everything really started to take off, and I knew I was on the right path.
That's what I'm talking about. And I tell people, someone asked me the other day, how to, get started in this, in the movie and television industry. And I tell people, yes, it's great to have skill. It's great to know what you're doing. But at the same time, if you can get an agent, they can point you in the right direction to get you into things that you could not get into by yourself. So big shout outs to your agent, doing big things.
Oh yeah, across the board talent. Guy, Elena, Christina, they're all amazing. They help me out in a major ways, and it's awesome that you have like a group of people that believe in you and are putting you in positions to succeed. You know what I mean? You just got to go out there and prepare, and then when preparation and opportunity meet, you succeed.
So true. Now, speaking about succeeding, Justin, what obstacles did you have to go through, to get to where you're at today in your success? Because everybody hits a speed bump somewhere.
Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, like definitely when I first started out in New York City, things were, like you're doing your thing. You're working, maybe tending a bar somewhere, whatever. Just kind of hoping that eventually you're going to be able to just act and write or produce, full time. And so a few years went by before I really got my feet underneath me and started really listening to a lot of the advice that was coming my way in terms of being an actor and what to do next. One of the biggest, the best piece of advice I ever got from anybody in New York City was somebody said you should really try to get involved and do the Williamstown Theater Festival. And what the Williamstown Theater Festival is a really cool theater festival that happens in the summertime out in Western Massachusetts. And it's kind of where Broadway goes for the summer, they say. And you can audition to get in at certain levels. You can be a part of the non-equity company. You could be an apprentice and things like that. And I went in as a non-ec. And what you do is you kind of work with some, like, really awesome, professional actors that are doing Broadway shows. I think when I was there, Emmy Rossum was there. She was playing Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. And there was a great actor there named Derek Cecil, who's now on House of Cards. And, you're there with a bunch of people, but that's where I really learned, you're working with people from Juilliard and NYU and all these great places where wonderful actors come out. Ben Walker was there, I think when I was there as well. He was amazing. And when I came out of Williamstown, out of that summer, you get a showcase and you get in front of a lot of casting directors and in front of people. And that's also like where I was able to, get in front of agents and have casting directors see me. And it was a huge bit of exposure that I never would have gotten in New York City, just kind of wandering around. But if you're able to do the festival and you come back to the city, then everybody in the industry sees you. And that was a big leg up for me as well. So I'd recommend for any young actor in New York City to look into the Williamstown Theater Festival.
Nice. Everyone, make sure you go check it out if you're trying to get to that next level. You just heard it right here with Justin. Do it. If you're trying to get noticed, if you're trying to make yourself better, do it, because there's nothing wrong with trying to make yourself better. So please check it out if you're in the area. Make sure you definitely do that. Now, Justin, what's your personal opinion? Do you feel that it's harder or easier to get into the movie industry or the television industry compared to 10 years ago?
Oh man, that's really interesting, because I think like each kind of the world's changed so much. I mean, since 10 years ago. I mean, I don't even know, like, Twitter and everything that's around today. Like it didn't exist. So like there are different ways to find fame and become famous and everything like that. Well, I think one of the major things at the end of the day is now there's so much accessibility where you can put something on Instagram or YouTube or Vimeo or, I've so many, the people who did High Maintenance that's coming out on HBO. I mean, that started as a short series on Vimeo, and now it's on HBO, and they're just kind of continuing where they left off. So I'd say across the board, no matter what you're doing in terms of getting involved with the film and television industry, I think that even though there's more accessibility, content is still king. And being able to really show up and like put together wonderful stories and bringing together really talented people and making something, eventually, people take notice. So I feel like the accessibility is easier, but it still takes a great deal of drive and focus and talent to like make sure you kind of separate yourself, from the pack and have people see what you're doing and then pick it up and really get involved with high quality, productions and things like that. So I think, there's certain ways it's changed and there's more accessibility now, but I think you still have to have an incredible amount of drive to make sure you get out where you need to be.
So true. I definitely agree with you on that. And I want to just say big shout outs to everyone that started where Justin's at and got to where they're at now. It's a journey that is well worth talking about. It's a journey saying, hey, look where I was at and look where I'm at now. So that's something that I applaud you on once again, Justin. You never gave up. You knew from a child that you wanted to act, and look at you now. So, it's I'm not going to say it's crazy how you got to where you're at. It's actually remarkable. So I want to just say thank you again for what you've done and what you're going to continue to do at the same time, Justin.
Well, that's awesome, man. It's really awesome to hear people say stuff like that and be so supportive. And everybody out there that has a passion for it and wants to, come after it, I just say make sure you stand on each step you take and be grateful for even the tiniest bit of steps that you take towards your goal. And that way you're building on something concrete instead of worrying about all the things you're not able to do or where you can't get to. I'd say build on everything that makes you feel better and everything you do accomplish. Don't worry about the times you get a no. It takes 1,000 no's, but it takes one yes to move you forward. So just keep looking for that one yes is what I would say.
That's what I'm talking about. And I also think of it this way too, Justin. I live by that rule, but at the same time, I say a no is a soft yes. So eventually that equals up to what you just said. You will keep getting soft yeses until you get that hard, sturdy yes. And then you'll be ready to pat yourself on the back at the end. So
absolutely. Just keep plugging at that, man. Just keep going forward.
Yes.
Always forward, right?
It got that right. Forward always. See, you got me doing a Luke Cage
forward
thing.
Always.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, besides Luke Cage, for the people that's listening worldwide right now, can you tell some of the people some more of the shows or movies that you've actually been in?
Yeah. I got started in New York. I think the kind of quintessential New York experience because I did like all the Law and Orders. I was on Law and Order SVU. I went back maybe a couple times for one of those, and just playing the smaller roles. And I think I started out with one line, and then the next time I did Law and Order, it was a bigger scene, and that was really awesome. And then the other one that I did, which was a fantastic New York show, was a show called Boardwalk Empire, which was pretty amazing. It was just an awesome experience. I got to work with Steve Buscemi, and actually on the day that I worked on Boardwalk Empire, I worked on for one episode for a few days, and the other actor I was playing opposite was actually Charlie Cox, who's now Daredevil. So a long time ago, before Charlie Cox became Daredevil, we did some work together on Boardwalk Empire, which was really cool. And it was really awesome to work with him. He was really nice, and we were both playing Irish guys because I do a lot of stuff where I play off the boat Irish guys and do the accent and everything. I'm really good with those type of roles, and so I was playing the head of the IRA in Boardwalk Empire. And one of the cool things about that role too was that before we shot the scene, in the scene I was going to be shooting a Tommy gun, so I had to train on it. So they brought me down in New York City, in Soho, there's this underground firing range where they have all the guns that they use in the movies and the TV shows they shoot in New York City. And, they're all set up to shoot blanks and everything, but you have to train on them because people could still get hurt. So I spent the afternoon down in Soho. It was just me and Steve Buscemi shooting guns underneath the street Soho in an underground firing range. And I think the guy knew. I think Steve brought his son with him, and I think the guy knew that he was going to bring his son with him, and so he had set up a few extra like fun, guns for us to shoot. Blank guns, not real,
right,
for movies. But we went through and shot like Glocks and AR-15s and things like that, all underneath the ground of Soho, and it was pretty cool. And I hung out with Steve Buscemi all day, and he was really wicked nice guy and just very approachable, and we had a great day. It was really fun.
Nice.
So that was something else I did. I did Boardwalk Empire, Alpha Law and Order. I did a wonderful movie called Muhammad Ali's Greatest Fight about Muhammad Ali fighting the Supreme Court. I got to play opposite legendary Frank Langella. A lot of stuff. A lot of really cool shows and movies. I've been fortunate that the stuff I've worked on has been stuff like HBO and Netflix and those type of shows, and been able to work with some really awesome people. Very grateful, very blessed in that regard.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about, Justin. Big shout out to everyone in all these movies, man. I mean, you're diversing everywhere. You're jumping from, you're getting opportunities. I'm not gonna say jumping. You're getting opportunities to play in all types of roles to actually get you prepared for anything that comes up on you. So big shout outs to that. Now, Justin, what everybody's been waiting to hear about. How excited were you when you found out that you received the role on that Marvel's hit show, Luke Cage?
Oh man, I got to tell you, it was really cool. I was super excited, and the funniest thing is I had no idea what I was getting into. That was the craziest part of it all. Was that when you audition for shows like Marvel shows and some stuff on Netflix, they are so specific about keeping what they're doing secret and under wraps that when I went in to audition for it, it was under a code name, and the sides that I got, the script that I got to read, wasn't even labeled as Luke Cage or anything. In fact, it wasn't really labeled as anything at all. It was just a few lines on a page and a situation. And I didn't even know that I was auditioning for Marvel or Luke Cage or what it was for. I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and I was kind of like, I don't know what this is. Earlier that day, I'd actually had another audition that actually was kind of funny. It didn't really go that well, and I was kind of bummed and a little bit angry. And so my second audition that day was for this thing called Tierra, which was the code name that they shot Luke Cage under. And I didn't know what it was, but the casting director, I really, really love her. She's a great casting director. Her name's Julie Schubert, and she called me in. She called me in for a few things, and I think she was there when I booked Boardwalk Empire as well. And so I went in, I saw her. I kind of had a devil may care attitude about me because I already had kind of blown one audition that day. And I went in and started talking with Julie before the audition took place, and we were talking and just kind of shooting it, and then she's like, okay, let's do this audition real quick. And I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. And I was really calm and relaxed, and I was really comfortable in the auditioning room. And then boom, I left, and I was like, wow, that felt pretty good. So now it was the weekend. It was the weekend, the Labor Day weekend, and I was taking off, going up the interstate to go home for the weekend. I was in a convertible, and my agent called me and said, hey, you booked it. And I was like, booked what? Which one? And he said, this thing called Tierra. And he didn't even know what it was because it was so secret. And I was like, oh, that sounds really great. And then I got home to my house, and I called in, some actor friends to go, hey, what is this thing that people have been, going in for? And one of my friends knew it was for Marvel. And then I got an email saying, welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that was when I was like, whoa, wait a second, what did I just get myself into? And I was super excited. And then the part kind of grew as the course of the season went along, which also was really exciting, unexpected. And all of a sudden, I was working with people like Simone and who plays Misty Knight, and all these amazing directors. And it was awesome of Paul McGuiran to cast me and work with Cheo Hodari Coker, who's the showrunner, and that was just amazing. So man, I was so excited, but I got really excited when I finally found out what it was that I actually booked, because I didn't even know because they were so secret about it. But it was awesome, man. I was really, really excited and wicked fun to work on.
Nice. Now, Justin, how was the atmosphere behind the scenes that we couldn't see on camera? How was the atmosphere on Luke Cage? Like, did everybody get along real well? Was it fun times? How was it?
You know what, man? Like, it was super loose, is what I'd say. I mean,
okay.
you didn't get the sense that you were. Everybody was. You know, the crew had worked on. I think Daredevil and Jessica Jones. They knew their stuff, and they were so professional, and everybody was so prepared that you could be kind of loose and relaxed and you know, work with everybody in a very open way. So it was really awesome because people knew, you know, that like there was a really awesome vibe on set, and you felt like this is going to be a really cool show. Like everything felt really cool and like really atmospheric and awesome and loose at the same time. So it really allowed you to feel comfortable and create with the people in the scenes with you, and you know, approach the showrunner and talk to everybody. Like everybody was so approachable. So you had a real sense of community when you were shooting it. So it was awesome. It was just really a really awesome atmosphere to work on the show with the people. Yeah.
Nice. Now,
that's what I'd say about it. I mean, I could tell you some fun stories, you know, from the set. Like one of the things that I thought was really funny about my character Bailey was they sent me, when you get your scripts, this is really interesting. They want to keep everything so secret, so they actually send it to you in a kind of a secret email, and you can't, you know, download it or anything at all. It's protected and secured. So you wouldn't even get. I wouldn't even get the rest of the script. I only know kind of what I was shooting that day, and then so when I was leaving the house, it said in my script that Bailey wears glasses, and I was like, oh gosh, I got to grab some glasses. So I grabbed my wife's glasses as I left the house. And when I got to the set and I was wearing the glasses when we were shooting the take, I was looking through her prescription. So as I looked at I started feeling sick when I was looking at everybody because it was messing up my eyes because it was her prescription, not mine. And so Bailey starts, you know, he takes his glasses off a lot, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm getting kind of sick because it's not my prescription. So it became kind of a thing that Bailey does where he takes his glasses off a lot, doesn't really look through them. So I thought that was kind of funny. It started off as kind of this thing, and it became kind of part of his character as I went along in the series.
See, I thought you was doing that because you was getting into like a serious mode. I'm one of the millions that's seen all 13 episodes of the first season, and now since you was playing that, I'm gonna go back and rewatch this again and get a good laugh off of this, because now you taking the glasses off. Okay, so it's your wife. It's your wife's prescription. So that makes sense now. That definitely makes sense.
Right. I mean that was just, for a little bit, like when I first got it, I think they ended up they're asking me about making like a pair of glasses for me and everything. But yeah, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag and have everybody go, oh no, he's not, being serious in the moment. I was in the moment, but it's also kind of funny because it definitely made me a little sick. So you should definitely go back and rewatch it and watch the times I take my glasses off. It's kind of funny.
Trust me, I am, because now I know the inside story on this. I got the scoop on this. This is funny. This is very funny. I'm glad you said something about this. Now, as far as it goes for season 2, I know you can't talk much, or you probably haven't even received an email about this yet, but what are you looking for the most for season 2 of Luke Cage?
What am I looking for the most for season 2 for Luke Cage? I mean, they haven't made any announcements. I don't even like, as of right now, everything that they're doing, they're the ones that are doing it. I mean, the only thing I could do is speculate about what would be, what they were going to do. I mean, you watch the end of this season, and they set it up with so many awesome characters that you want to see coming back in the second season, and I just kind of, you got to wonder, like, what's going to go on between Claire and Luke, and you got to wonder what's going to go on with Diamondback, and and Theo and his part and everything. So there's so much stuff they set up. I'm kind of just like a fan waiting to see, what it's going to look like. If nobody's made any announcements yet, but with the popularity, you have to kind of, hope and assume there's going to be a season 2. So I'm just like everybody else going, gosh, what are they going to do next,
I don't believe they can stop it because the way that it ended with Luke, the guys came and got him. They found out who he really was, and they're ready to take him back to Atlanta. And I mean, I just feel that it ended on a climax. That's what it feels like. It ended on a climax. And I'm just, I'm ready to see what's going to happen myself. Now, Justin, I want you to get out of Justin Swain right now, and I want to talk to Bailey for 1 second. I want you to bring Bailey on the show, right? Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm putting on my glasses. All right, go ahead. Good.
Okay. Now, Bailey, at any point of season 1, did you feel that Misty's partner was crooked at any time? The one that got killed by Cottonmouth. Or the one that got shot at by Cottonmouth.
I had my suspicions.
Okay.
I think that there's a possibility, that everybody in the police department might have a dark side, and you have to constantly be vigilant and look and make sure that that you stay on the right side of the law, but you don't, you get close to people, but not too close. You get sucked into their demons. So, I think I might have been a little suspicious about that. Yeah, I guess that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, well, one more question.
Got to follow the evidence.
Okay, one more question for you, Bailey, then we're going to bring Justin back on the show. Now,
all right.
Bailey, do you have a thing for Misty in any type of way besides a working relationship?
I think that she is a fine detective. I feel very protective of her, and I'd like to make sure that she doesn't follow her gut to a point where that makes her self-destruct. So all I can say is I'm very fond of her, and I want to make sure that nothing bad ever happens.
Nice. Thank you very much, Bailey. Let's bring Justin back on the show.
Now, let's get back to Justin now. You get too personal with Bailey.
Yeah, I did. I had to try to bring it out on now. Now, right now, Justin, on my Facebook Live, people are yelling out, "He's innocent, free Luke." I mean, people are getting deep on this thing, and personally, I believe, though, Justin, seriously, on a serious note, that there will be a season 2 and beyond. I really do believe that, and I'm hoping and I believe that you will still be on the show at the same time, because towards the end of the season, your character was showing more. So I feel that, that it's not the end for you or anything else that's coming your way. I really do. So congratulations for Luke Cage.
I really, as the season went on and I was doing more on the show, it was just so much fun. It was such a privilege to work with such amazingly talented people and to learn from them and to interact and I can't say how grateful I am for the opportunity and how I don't want it to end. So season two, that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, there you go. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Now, how important do you think social media is for the television and movie industry these days?
It seems to be something that had gone from like a gigantic, boom where people didn't really understand it to it's just something that's absolutely necessary. It's just an extension of everything else, and it's a way to connect with people in a different way than just watching a movie. Because like now you can hook onto the social media and you can understand what's happening behind the scenes. You can be a part of the whole process. You get it's like bringing the world closer together and letting people in on all that wonderful stuff that happens behind the scenes when you're making a show or you're making a movie. I mean, there's so many crazy stories of just like really awesome people, coming together that are creative and imaginative, that, it's cool that social media can allow people to become a part of that and see that, So I think it's an incredibly necessary part of media now, and it's just as anything else. If you're going to make a movie, if you're going to do a TV show, you're going to play a character, I think you have to have some aspect of social media that also allows fans, a chance to round out their experience of the show. So I think it's very important.
Nice. Now, do you feel that some directors or producers or even casting agents, do you think that they use social media do you think, like, if you have one person that's very skilled and they had 3,000 followers and someone it seems like they're good, but they have 250, let's say close to 1 million followers. I know I threw that number out there, but let's say close to 1 million followers on social media. Do you feel that they will pick that person over the more skilled actor these days?
I don't know. I mean, I can't put myself in their minds and what's the most important thing to whatever that specific project is. It hasn't really. That's not an experience that I've had in terms of my interaction with the business, where social media and the amount of followers that like I have or something affects the type of roles I get to go in for, or things like that. At least that I know of. So it's a hard thing to say because I've never encountered it, but
okay.
I only can speak from my experience. So I'm not really sure if some people interact that way or not. I mean, I definitely over my time in New York City have also done some work behind the camera. Also done a lot of work, writing and I've produced some shows, off Broadway here in the city, and I always just worked with the people that I felt their heart connected with the roles that I was casting the most, and that's kind of where I can say my experience lives. But I don't know. Everybody has their own way. The entertainment industry is vast, and there's all kinds of people.
So
I
true.
guess that would
Great
be my
answer
answer to that question.
Great answer. One more question for you for social media. How can your fans and new followers right now find you on social media?
Well, I think for me, Instagram is my fun one. I'm really enjoying that, and you can find me at Justin Swain Official,
Okay.
and check out there's some posts there from I think my last day of filming. I did a nice picture with Misty and some stuff from the rap party and some of their little screen captures and things like that. So absolutely find me on Instagram and you can check me out there at Justin Swain Official.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen worldwide that's listening right now, make sure you go follow him on Instagram. Make sure you do it to keep up with him, see what new projects he's going to have coming out soon. Make sure you just keep up with this guy. Justin is a great guy, very successful. He's really doing his thing. So make sure, once again, follow him on Instagram, especially if you want to see some of the amazing pics, videos, or whatever he's going to post. Justin, what is your ultimate goal as an actor?
I think it's simply to do it for the rest of my life, to continue to find roles, like I said, that I feel like my heart can connect to, and then I can be of service to the project and of the show. I feel like that's the best way to enter into any project, to say, like, where is my piece and how can I be that best piece in the best way possible. So I think that my goal as an actor is just to make sure I continue to connect my heart and soul into every role and keep acting. Every single time you play a character, every single time you enter into that headspace, you learn something about human nature, about being human, and that's like such a fantastic gift, and it's an amazing journey that I'm grateful for. That I get to play many parts through the course of my life, and I get to understand so many facets of what it means to be human. So I guess that's my goal as an actor.
Hey, there you go, Justin. Enough said on that one, man. Once again, I don't believe that your career is going to end anytime soon. You're a great actor. I've seen you on multiple things outside of Luke Cage also. So you are definition of a true actor. So congratulations for many, many, many more years to come. Now, Justin, I know you're a busy guy. I'm not going to hold you much longer, but what advice would you give any male or female that wants to become an actor or actress in the movie or television industry?
That's interesting, man. I think I personally love passing on my knowledge and my experience of what it was like to break into business to a lot of the young actors I meet in New York City. You know, I was pretty wide-eyed from a very small town. Like I said, I think there are 32 kids in my graduating class. I was 6 years old in New Hampshire, you know, so I came from a small place. And so being in the city, I think it's cool to find a network of people that you can learn from and that can advise you and to actually listen, you know, to their advice. You know, connect yourself to people through like really acting classes that make you feel like you're able to express yourself and who you are, and not to get too caught up in acting classes where people tell you what to do or try to make you different. Like the best ones are the ones that make you feel like you're able to express yourself as an artist, and it's not about the person teaching the class. So I'd say find those places and then find people that are supportive that you can learn from. And then business-wise, I think, you know, there's a few different ways. You know, I think sometimes if you're young and it feels right for you, to go to one of the grad school programs is a really great way to break into the business. And I want to remind people that, like, you can audition for those more than once. You know, that's the thing that, you know, friends of mine went to Juilliard and NYU and Yale and the other major grad schools, and I had people, you know, who the first time they didn't get called back or they got called back, but they didn't make it in. You can go back and do it a second or a third time. Like, don't get discouraged and think, oh, that's it for me, I'm not going to get in. You can go back, and I know people have gone back and gotten into those schools and then gone on to, you know, be great, you know, amazing actors. And then there's other ways where people aren't doing the grad school route, and they're working through places like One-on-One or One-on-One NYC and going in and spending 15 minutes, you know, with an agent and making a connection, and that person really likes them, and they're able to get that agent and then move on and go in and book work, you know, and then just give it your heart and soul. I mean, because that's, I think, what it takes. I think everybody I know that have succeeded as an actor, they just do it with every fiber of their being, and they don't stop, and they won't stop no matter what, because it's like they don't know who they are if they're not getting a chance to perform or act. And I think if those, you know, things you identify, if that's something you identify with, you should just keep doing it until you get where you're going to go, because you'll get there as long as you follow your heart. That's what I'd say.
Hey, so true. Justin, thank you very much for being on the show. I would love to have you back on the show in the future.
Oh, I'd love to come back, man. This has been great. It's awesome to get a chance to talk about this type of stuff. And I appreciate you having me, man. This is awesome.
Hey, thank you, Justin. Make sure you have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen worldwide, make sure, once again, you go follow Justin on Instagram. Check out, if you haven't seen it yet, check out Luke Cage, Season 1 on Netflix right now. You'll see Justin at his finest. Also, try to find some of his other shows also at the same time, from Law & Order on out. So make sure you follow Justin. Great actor, great person. This guy, he's going to be around for a very long time. Justin, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you too, man. It was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Until next time, people, on the Big Scoop with Coop.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the ladies Coop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop.